I'm Carol Boynton, founder of the Boynton Blueprint. Welcome to Boynton Blueprint Conversations, where we talk about all things women, caregiving, parenting mindset, inclusion, and creating a life that's rooted in purpose. Whether you're raising a child with unique needs, caring for someone you love, or simply looking for encouragement, you're in the right place. So grab a cup of coffee or a glass of your favorite beverage and take a deep breath. And let's jump into today's conversation. So first of all, I want to say if you follow me on social media, you already know that I'm a caregiver to my twin daughters who have cerebral palsy. Also a caregiver to my mom, who is now living in assisted living, where that atmosphere is much more safer for her. Also care for my late dad and my late spouse. So I am speaking from experience. But what I want to talk about today is when you're the caregiver, but you're the one sick. So that's interesting, right? Have you ever noticed that caregivers don't usually ask, how am I feeling? They always ask, how is everyone else doing? But that happens. But what happens? But what happens when the caregiver gets sick? Who takes care of the person who takes care of everyone else? And I think this conversation, we don't really have it enough. And I thought about it because I have two friends, two ladies who are caregivers, and they both end up sick. Both end up in the hospital. And I got to thinking about this topic. So whether you're caring for children, Asian parents, a spouse, or a child with disability, caregivers often become the glue that holds everything together. And then one day the glue wakes up sick, right? Maybe it's the flu. Maybe like me, you might have sciatica and you have to lift your loved one and your back is hurting. Maybe you have to have surgery. Or maybe you just exhausted and just like, oh my God, I cannot get out of the bed today. So what do you do? Like, right? What do you do? So instead of thinking about yourself and how you feeling, you first thought is always who's going to do everything today? Who is going to take care of my loved one? Who is going to fix lunch? Who's going to cook dinner? Who's going to get the medicine? Who's going to, get the bath or the shower? And sometimes I hear caregivers say, and I am guilty. They say, I don't have time to be sick. Or I can't be sick because I can't let everyone down. Everyone is dependent on me. Or they say, it's okay, I'll just push through. And I am definitely guilty of just pushing through. I remember I had sciatica. Two times I remember where it was really bad and I could not get out of the bed. But nobody, I didn't have anybody to lift my daughter and get her dressed and ready and, sit her up to eat. I had to push through. And that guilt can actually keep us from getting the rest we need because I probably wind up doing a little bit more damage to my back instead of just, maybe calling someone. I'm just trying to say, okay, I could do it. And sometimes caregivers even apologize for getting sick, as if like they chose to get sick. And like I mentioned before, when I had the sciatica issue, once I remember I got myself up like real early and drove myself, I had never been in that much pain before, to the ER and got a shot and some medication, and came home and rest for a few hours and got myself together enough to get my daughter ready and, for all the things that she needed to do. Sometimes caregivers delay doctor's appointments. I'm guilty of this too. And I'm giving you these examples because I don't want you to make the same mistakes I've made. There's no need. But once my doctor emailed me, I guess she had been calling me, and I had just kind of procrastinating, and she emailed me and said, "When are you coming to see me?" Sometimes caregivers skip out on their medications. They get exhausted, they burn out, they have compassion fatigue. And that happened to me. And all of this can be stress on your immune system. And our bodies are amazing, but they are not machines. They are not well-oiled machines. And eventually, our bodies will demand our attention, even when we keep, putting it off, and sometimes it stop you right in the tracks. So, what can caregivers do? What can you do if you are the caregiver and you get sick? One thing you can do, several things you can do, accept help. It is okay to ask for help, or if someone offers it, accept help. Have an emergency plan, a backup person who you can call and say, "Hey, I need you," and they'll come. Let people know your routines. Sometimes you might have a best friend that you chat with. Let them know your routines. Keep all your important information in one place so people can find, the medicine or whatever. Rest without guilt and lower your expectations for a day or so. It is okay. Everything does not have to be perfect every single day. And you know what? I actually put together a free checklist for when the caregiver gets sick, because I wanted caregivers to have something practical that they could reach for during these moments. And you can find the checklist on my website, because I have a blog on this actual topic, and the checklist is on the blog. So just know, you have to know deep inside, and you have to keep this, in the forefront of your mind all the time, that you matter too. Your loved one matters, but you do too. You matter. Your health matters. Your family does not need a superhero. They already know. If you're a caregiver, they already know that you're a superhero. But what they do need is you to be healthy. They need you to be present. Like, you want to show up for your loved one who may be on the mend, and you show up broke down. You need to be healthy and present and take care of yourself so you are able to keep going, right? Who wants to, your loved one is already, may feel some kind of way because, they have to be taken care of, and then you show up broke down. So listen, I would love to hear from you. If you are a caregiver and you have experienced this, being the caregiver, and you're the one sick, I want to hear from you. Have you ever been sick and you're a caregiver? What did you do? How did you handle that? Did you ask for help? Did you accept help? Did you just push through, keep going? So listen, this channel, I want us to support one another and let's support each other in the comments, because I think that this conversation is desperately needed. I don't hear a lot of conversation about what happens when the caregiver is the one that gets sick. If this conversation encouraged you, please consider subscribing to my channel, Blueprint Conversations. On here, we talk honestly about all things women. I'll bring to you something that I might read or hear about that's interesting to me, and I think it might be interesting to other ladies. I will bring that. But we talk all things women, caregiving, parenting, mindset, and building a life that supports the people that we love, including ourselves. This is all topics that are very important to me, and I believe that we need, as women, to encourage one another, talk to one another in love, help one another, give each other advice. We all in this thing together. We all trying to do the same thing, and that is live our best lives however we can. So I need you to take care of yourself. Also, I want to thank you for spending this time with me. And if this conversation encouraged you, like I said before, I love for us to stay connected. So visit boyntonblueprint.com and you can explore all my blogs, my coaching, my children's books, and I also have courses. I support parents, caregivers, and family. Please like and subscribe and share this video with someone who probably could use a little bit of encouragement. And then, until the next time, remember the Boynton Blueprint. We're rooted in service and designed for legacy. Peace.